Good evening, everyone. All right, give me a second. It seems I've been having all kinds of computers issues today. I deal with Google, so we'll hopefully get through this broadcast without any interruptions unlike last week with it crashing. Before I get started tonight, I'm waiting for a few people to join in. We'll take time out to let people know over in the UK that our hearts and prayers are with them with the tragic event that just took place about an hour ago. I know I don't want to bring any new stuff in here, but it just seems dealing with certain ideologies, it just doesn't stop with the violence, and it's the innocent this time. It was pretty much a concert full of kids, so our hearts, prayers go out to the families, those who are injured and those who lost loved ones. I was debating whether even to do the podcast tonight, because I do have viewers from over in the UK that tune in. But I am going to. So tonight's discussion on knowledge and principles will be part 3 of learning to walk the tree. We'll be discussing Had and its opposite, Samuel and Qliphoth. I know many of you may be asking why I'm teaching it this way, and let me state this. It is not for the beginners, but you can still listen so you learn how to properly walk the tree when you are ready to proceed to this part. The first thing we must understand is that positive and negative is a part of us, and everything, we must break the cycle of putting more importance over one or the other. Our goal is to embrace both and allow both to flow naturally and unobstructed. And this is why I am teaching this very method of walking the tree. As I get my little warning out the way. This one looks like. And I can see I'm having issues already. There we go. Like I said, anything Google related right now is giving me nothing but headaches. YouTube. Since I've had a few of my things censored here of late. I do apologize for a little bit of a late start. Like I said, it takes me a little bit to get all the links out. And I was watching a friend of mine's live stream over what happened over in the UK. As I go along, guys, feel free to ask any questions in chat. And for those that are tuning in, share the videos. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Like I said, it's getting to the point where it's just taking too much time to do all these notifications and all the places I'm at. And not to mention how long it's taking to load this document. Let that be a lesson for those that use Google, anything Google related right now. The worst part is I've checked, everything's up to date. It's just being a pain. Let me pop in here real quick, check chat. Well, it's not looking too promising, guys, for this live stream. It's just crashed. Looks like yep. Apparently Mondays are just not a good day to do videos on YouTube. I'm beginning to think no day is a good day to do videos on YouTube right now. I might have to go to upload, guys. We'll try to get through this. Pod, which represents, is also known as glory. The eighth sephira of the tree of life, personifying intellect and concepts, forms balanced by its counterpart, the seventh sephira, Nisek. The Kabbalistic symbols, vehicles, apron, tarot, 8, magical image, a hermaphrodite. The beams of Geburah and Teferet meet in Had, and thence arise, brilliant, pure, and flashing orange 20. And the sphere of operation is of Kokab, the stellar light, bestowing elegance, swiftness, and scientific knowledge and art, consistency of speech, and it ruleth the sphere of action of Mercury, and Elohim Zavath, God of hosts, and of armies, of mercy, and of agreement, of praise and honors, ruling the universe in wisdom and harmony, and its archangel is Michael, the prince of splendor and of wisdom. The name of the order of angels, Elohim, or the sons of gods, who are also called the order of archangels. That's something I don't know if I really covered in the other two. I know I've covered, talked about the God name or the power, word of power, Elohim's the boat. When we're walking the tree, so we would, if you're doing it verbally or out loud, I do it silently, so that's why I probably might not have mentioned this earlier. We would go Adonai Haaretz, Shaddai Ashai, Elohim Zevot. For the, that part of the street, actually, when we start walking it, entering each sphere. In the God name or the word, power word, or however you want to call it, will allow us access to the tree. This aspect of the tree. Many ways to do it. You can write it out in Hebrew. Visualize it a little as we feel to activate it, or you can mentally project it, or for those that watch the video on the magical gaze, you can do it that way too, which is actually the easier way to do it, until you get accustomed of feeling the energies and the shifts. You'll feel a shift as you enter each sephira. I know I didn't cover that. I haven't covered that before. I know I haven't. Like I said, sometimes, it's all about repetition, so, it becomes second-hand nature to us. It's action without thought. So sometimes we might forget to mention stuff like that. I'm usually pretty good at catching it, but I just now caught this, so apparently I wasn't that good at catching it in the first two videos. And when we finish the whole series of the tree, learning to walk the tree, I will walk through the entailments. Which you guys can practice on your own, so you can basically do it so you don't have to reverberate it. You can feel the energies. There's a meditation that I've learned. I'll add to this, how to do it so you enter, you feel everything, to where it basically becomes, you'll feel yourself enter it without even entering it, because something triggered it, some presence. Basically, you're just taking your chair, you're going right straight to Qliphoth. We'll cover that more on that when we discuss Qliphoth, which is 2 more videos away. But as you can see, scientific knowledge, art of consistency of speech, the planetary aspect, Mercury. In a sense, we're also building our correspondence within the tree. Everything we can find, like I said, each sephira is like a sephira. It's like opening a door with many doors, many realms, many planes of existence, all within that sephira. Each aspect of the sphere has its own knowledge to bestow upon you. Interaction with other entities and beings, those that watched Qliphoth, when I was dealing with the Qliphoth form, how you can see even the Qliphoth is in the sephira of Qliphoth. Each sephira, its opposite, is in the same sephira. Really, when we're traversing both, whether you realize it or not. It's there. Like I said, there's a duality to certain things. It's actually, and I've stated, it's multi-ality, because it's just not duality. It's tri-quad. It's infinite. That's the word I've been looking for, infinite. Each sephira is infinite. Many dimensions upon dimensions, and that's the best way to look at it. The best way to look at the tree. It's many trees overlapping, connecting, interacting. Yep, this is going to be one of those nights where everything is going to be hard to do. Check back to make sure I'm still streaming. I don't want to have an incident like last Monday. I don't think it's really going to matter, because I'm having a hard time just accessing Hangouts now. Pulling it up. Guys, if you guys are asking questions in the chat, I don't know if I'm having a hard time getting my browser to do anything. Like I said, I'm Hangouts, not responding. This is getting beyond old. Alright. Alright. I don't know how much was recorded or not, guys. I can see just right now my Hangouts is barely cutting in and out, barely recording my voice. So I don't know. I'll try to do the rest of this if I can get things to actually work. But it looks like this might be another one where I just have to upload, redo and upload later, tomorrow. Another thing dealing with HOD is also, there's many properties of HOD that I didn't discuss. It's one of those spheres where you actually, for me, I just had to spend a lot of time on it. Like I said, there was two spheres, HOD and seems to be the left side of the tree, doesn't it? HOD and Geber were the hardest for me. There was a lot of work that I had to entail. And like I said, each of the sephira, it also depends on when you're, goes back, you need to have a voice to know when you're ready to move on to the next part. And this doesn't mean you're done with that part of the sephira. It just means you're ready to move on to have part of the tree and open it up. Like I said, a lot of this stuff you gotta listen to your inner voice. Keep a journal of things when you're working on it. Yeah, guys, it's gonna happen. I'm having way too much headaches trying to access anything. That's what I get for putting everything on Google. I did it that way, so when I'm done with this series, I can just open these documents up publicly and attach them to the end of the video series so you guys can actually see the written form and have a little guide to, your own little guide to base it off of. But apparently that might have been the error of my ways. So now the opposite side, the Qliphoth. Samael is the opposite. Okay, finally. Let's make sure I'm streaming still. I think I am. I'm not sure. Like I said, as soon as I pop the Hangouts up, black screen. That shows me my videos. What volume was, I don't know. Hot. Samuel is the opposite, also known as poison of God. Bluff of Hod similarly is founded on the idea of a radiating object. Our eyes are blinded and cannot look behind the radiating surface. Unauthentic brilliance can be understood as the beginning of illusion and deceit. In the realm of the mind, the shadow of Hod therefore is represented by the lie, artfulness, or beguilement. At the same time, the demon of Hod correlates to the ideas of hesitation and lack of determination, the negative fluctuations of our mind. The Qliphoth of Hod is called Samael, which can be translated as the deceitful one, son of God. In the Holy Kabbalah, Arthur Edward White, Samuel is described as the severity of God, and as fifth of the archangels of the world of Bria. Samael is said to have taken Lilith as his bride after she left Adam. According to the Kabbalah, Samuel was also mated with Isa, Zenum, Amma, and Agat Lat Malat, all angels of sacred prostitution. Samuel is sometimes confused in some books with Camael, an archangel of God whose name means he who sees God, he who is like God, Hema, like El God, Aramaic Hebrew. And as you guys can also, I hope you guys are starting to get this as I'm reading both sections, both correspondence. You're starting to see that even when I'm speaking of the Qliphoth, I'm still speaking of the tree of life, as it is part of the tree of life, not two separate trees, as the misconception has been told throughout generations by certain orders. Which brings me to another point. I have an issue when I see the so-called Emperor of the Golden Dawn. I'm saying so-called because, I mean, You can't sit there and tell the people to come there for information that you nowhere does it teach, or there's, you would even tell people to work with demonic beings or this and that. And it's not even part of the Kabbalist system, the Kabbalah. You're, from a true member of the Golden Dawn, whether you want any others I can quote from their own literatures and stuff, that what I've been saying is true with both aspects. The Qliphoth is taught within the Golden Dawn. So when you sit there and tell your followers, people that are looking for you as Dawn in the United States, that it's not part of your teachings, I just, right there. I can read it from various other sources, and you guys can do the research. It is very much part of the Golden Dawn, as the OTOs, Lima. And that really bothered me when I seen that last week posted in the Golden Dawn group. I mean, it just goes to show you that we can't even trust a lot of the people that are so-called our leaders in our communities. One, let's keep it real, guys. Knowledge and information is supposed to be free. It's supposed to be passed down, not charged for. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying paying dues to an organization is wrong, because it is. It's right. You know, if you're part of if you're a member, you pay dues. That's it. You're not paying. Your dues don't go for the information. It goes for the upkeep of the temple. We could discuss get into a little bit deeper in that too, because, truthfully, the master of the temple, yeah, he's the one that produces the money and the fundings for the temple. But yeah, I see, I see so much out there. Everybody wants to charge for this study course or that. That makes you a charlatan. That makes the information you're giving out valueless, because you're charging for something that's meant to be passed down. It's something you guys might want to start thinking about. Just like any true tarot reader. One, don't need cards. We discussed that previously. But they also will never charge you. If you wish to donate and give, well, that's a blessing that will be returned upon you, and it's a blessing to the reader receiving a gift. There's nothing wrong with giving a gift, because in a sense you are giving a gift by giving you a true, accurate reading. When you start putting money and value on those things, then you allow entities like Samael and other Qliphothic beings or other just negative beings to influence those readings, because you're doing the readings based on greed. Like I said, I'm not giving you all the information. I'm just opening the doors for you so you can understand, so you can stop listening to these idiots, liars, deceivers. I mean, perfect example, the deceitful ones, Samuel. I mean, you're just, sense what they are doing when they do this? These are the gods that they are worshiping, or fallen angels that they worship. They're not worshiping the angelic beings. And let's not forget, as I stated here and stated many times, what our the demons. They are the fallen angels. There's much research that's been done on it, and much debate on it. But in the older texts and some of the newer texts, they discuss that these entities, these fallen angels, looked that one day they will be gaining their position. What the conversation was about on the Golden Dawn was about the use of demonic forces over angels. And basically what was stated, I, no one should ever use the demonic beings when you have the power of angels. It's not part of our teaching. No, I just corrected you there, which tells me you're false claiming to be the Emperor of the Golden Dawn in the United States. I think many people from the Golden Dawn and the lodges need to sit down and remove you. You've caused way too much division within the communities. Now you're causing division within your own order. As I've stated, there's no such thing as black or white. It's all just energy. It all flows through you naturally anyway. It's a part of you. The problem comes when we start putting labels and emphasis on one over the other when it's supposed to flow naturally. This is why I'm teaching you the way to walk the tree this way. Realizing that both aspects are there no matter. There ain't two separate trees. It's just one tree. You know, yes, I'm walking the tree as a flaming sword. For those that don't know that, you will as you progress, as you learn each of the Sephiroth, as you become part of the Sephiroth, allowing every energy in this universe that flows through the Sephiroth, through the tree of life, through Sephiroth. You become that flaming sword that walks the tree. Or as some put it, you are the serpent within the tree. Which we could kind of go back to the Garden of Eden if we so wished. The eating of the forbidden fruit of good and evil, which gave us free will, which gave us really why we label things. Good, bad, evil. Before we didn't see that. All we seen is everything in its purest form. There was no contradictions, no deceits, no lie. We wouldn't see each other's nakedness. So when we're actually walking the tree, we're walking within that forbidden knowledge that is showing us how it used to be, how it's meant for us to be. So our sense as we're growing in wisdom and knowledge, we're learning the knowledge within the tree, the forbidden fruit. In a sense, we're kind of going back and healing ourselves from, I don't want to use sin, but you get the point, I think, I hope. You know, and many of the traditions, we can find these teachings throughout everything. You know, it's just like today. One of my friend did a video on how these scientists came up with this. That correlates to what I'm talking about. X-ray vision, through looking through a pair of binoculars, being able to see through a house, make out a person or a dog. This is the Wi-Fi, the frequency and vibrations that the Wi-Fi give off. They found a way to see through it, basically X-ray vision, so to speak. So you could see through a solid object, a form of transmutation. Now it goes back to some of the discussions we've had in open night discussions about frequencies and vibrations, about cell phones, computers, Wi-Fi. They take in our tools and use them, but they don't call it magic. They don't call it. They call it technology. They call it science. But yet we understand the formulas of it because we teach it. We work with it every day. So they're taking our tools and giving it to those who don't know or aren't the wiser, which allows them to be controlled, much like how many of you have been controlled and deceived with the tree of life. How you're taught to put labels on things. How you're taught to restrict one side over the other when it's supposed to flow through your naturally in harmony. No restrictions. Everything is one. Which I could go on and break down more and more with the triad, 2 and 1. Merging yourself, becoming one in communion with whatever God you're using. And as those many of you know, my belief on the concept of God is simple. There's many faces, many names, but they're all the true God. If we truly believe what the Christians believe, we're created in God's own image. Therefore, God is both male and female, duality. As it is represented throughout each of the Sephiroth. God is vengeful and loving. He is wrathful and peaceful. There's many aspects, just like when we're dealing with a lot of the angels. The angelic names are also names of God. Elohim Zabot is the name of God. Adonai Haaretz is also a name of God. Shaddai Hashai or Shaddai El-Kai, how you wish to pronounce it. Let me recover that once more in this video. I don't know if I did it when I redone it last week, so I lost that part and had to redo it. But pronunciation, I'm going to eventually do a video on how to pronounce stuff, especially before I do the Enochian stuff. Because there's different ways to intone, not to intone. The proper way to know when you're pronouncing it right, because every one of us are unique. We all have our own pitch and vibration, our own frequency. No one has the same. We can mimic and match it in many ways. So when we're working together, we're all in unison and important. But by then you already know the energies. You can feel it. When you get it right, you'll feel the energies flowing from you out into the universe and back. It'll be like a ripple going out and coming back. That's how you know when you pronounce a name right. You can feel the energy. Just like when a person walks in a tree or jumps into the ferret, you can feel the shift. You can feel it around you. You can feel somebody jumping in. And it usually jumps you into it. So like I said, there's many ways we can use this information. But most of it, it's going to be one-on-one. You with that Sephira and the entities and beings within it. So therefore, as I've stated, you're just not going to find the angelic beings. You're going to find the fallen angelic beings as well, all within that Sephira of Had, Yesod, Malkuth. So that is the 3 we've covered up to date. Let me double check to see if anybody's left any comments. Like I said, you guys tonight just gotta bear with me. I'm working on trying to get all these issues fixed. Unfortunately, some of this just isn't on my end. I'm going to try to delete and reinstall Chrome. I've had issues with Chrome in the past before, though. Doing this very same thing. And yes, looks like I got disconnected. Again. Nope. It says I'm still live. But yet, my Facebook or my YouTube page says I'm not. So guys, apparently I can't even view chat right now, so I don't know if anybody's left any comments. Okay, now it says I've started stream. I don't get this. At least we managed to get through it, through the whole thing without it having technical issues like we did. Of course, then again, I haven't went back and re-listened to this yet either. Where it's, as I was talking, or it just froze, so I don't know. I'll rewatch it. If it's screwed up, I'll do it like I did last week and redo it. But yeah, once more, guys, I'm trying to be a little politically correct here and not swear, but I'm just not trying to be a douche. Well, we'll use that word. Maybe they won't censor that. Towards the, people that follow the Golden Dawn, those that follow it. So I'm just stating when you have this guy that claims to be the Emperor, the head of the Golden Dawn of the United States, saying what he said, I'm sorry, it just irks me. It should irk every one of you. I mean, especially, because a lot of the same teachings are taught, TO, same way, different, but still, in the end, guys, you shouldn't be listening to me. You definitely shouldn't be listening to that douche. If you listen to that inner voice inside you, let it guide you. Let it lead you the way you're at. Because we are all at different stages in our growth and understanding. I can do these videos all day long. It's still not cover a fraction of what I have learned over the years. Still learning. That's the beauty of it. We're all still learning. We're learning from each other. As you guys comment, share your ideas. So we're learning from others. Always listen to your inner voice. Let it guide you on what is being said. It won't lead you wrong. It may seem like it. I'm done sometimes it felt like it. But in truth, where I need to be. Just like, I know some of my issues is internet connection. Fixed Thursday. Which, truthfully shouldn't have got fixed because, our antennas that's under warranty, we can get 2 service calls where we're not charged for. And, well, we kind of had that already, I guess. But, well, you get another service in 11 days. What's 11 days? So, it tells me that what I'm doing, because trust me, the internet provider I have, I've had headaches with. And this was probably one of the most perfect talks I've ever had with them. He fell in place like, oh yeah, dude figured out instantly as soon as he accessed the tower. So like, of course I felt things around. They're like, oh, don't worry, we got it. Like I said, have a donation thing on here. Yes, I did bitch about charlatans and that, but donations are different, guys. It's up to you. To me, a donation is like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. That's a donation because it's to share it with others and know when I'm uploading stuff. There's many ways to donate to somebody. Giving information is a form of donation. I have it up there for those that wish to contribute because there are things I am planning on doing that I will have to have some money. But I also believe, as I stated, when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, things will happen themselves. I truthfully don't even have to ask. I do it now just to let people know it's there. Everything you need to find about reach me, contact me, is in the descriptions. And that's why it's there. Which is probably going to be one of the last few times I mention this. But, like I said, we got to start paying attention to these so-called people that we look to as our community leaders or leaders of these organizations, and start looking more to ourselves, listening to our inner voices, listening to our inner voice and the things around us that communicate with us all the time, that are there that we don't see, like I said. It's just, we've been deceived so long with so much, with information. And what it's about control. It's controlling you, keeping you enslaved, not letting you see the real knowledge and truth. With all that comes responsibility. Some people aren't ready for that responsibility. And that's also on us. It's kind of me. I'm responsible. I realize that. For everything I put out there. For anybody that uses the information I put you, I'm responsible for that. Not on you. So, that's why, I am covering both trees, the Qliphoth, calling it both. I am covering the tree of life. The Qliphoth is part of the tree of life. As I just watched the videos, guys, down it for itself. And like I said, at the end of this series, I'll attach both of my personal written documents and lectures on the Qliphoth. Basically, it's going to be the same stuff I cover. The only difference is I'm filling in the gaps, the stuff as I've learned over the years. Like I said, it's been many years since I wrote those. Got more insight, more knowledge that I've learned and gleaned from experience and trials and practice. How to fill it in and correct some of the mistakes that may have been in it, but at the time weren't mistakes. At the time, that's all I needed to know about it. I wasn't ready for it. So don't ever rush. Don't ever think just because it seems to stop, I think it's time to move on to the next. We're always going to come back and revisit each section. And once you fully walk the tree a few times, and eventually it just opens up. You'll know where it came from, which is the fear, but it'll come to you in part and in knowledge as it is time for you. So be patient. Patience is a virtue. I hate to say it, but it is a truth. Patience is a virtue, especially in what we do. Now, and that's another thing. That's why you do have the Dark Brotherhood, the Black Magicians. Why they do go that route, because it's a faster way to achieve. And they will never achieve anything higher than what they've already got. We will surpass them until they realize that one key important thing that I've been trying to teach you, that everything will flow freely as one. No restrictions on one, no placing importance on the other. There's no reason to go make a pact with something. In fact, I've explained this. You don't. There's no deals. There's no exchange of anything. It is my will, and you will do it. I have dominion over you. I command you to do it. There's no ands, ifs, buts. There's nothing in return. The only thing you're getting in return is the satisfaction of obeying your master. And the fact that you probably did a good deed. Just put another notch in your claim to, to regain your position. So they're doing it for themselves, not for us. They're doing it for their own ends. But we're never giving anything in return. That is the myth. That is the lie, the deception. Deceiving you into believing that you have to give something in return, when in truth, he's got to obey my every word. Yes, he's going to fight tooth and nail. But hey, that's what the power words are for. The names of gods are for to command and control. They are subject to us, just like the angels are subject to us. And this is something, I'm always going to harp on, because it seems most people these days don't realize that. That's simple and important. So like I said, when you start walking the tree, you're walking the whole tree, just not upper and lower, as above, so below. It's all one tree. You gotta have roots to grow. The Qliphoth is the foundation. It is the roots that feed the tree. It goes up. It releases to the starry heavens. And from the starry heavens, it comes back down as nourishment, or as the Bible says, manna to the roots, feeding the roots system. There is no division there. There ain't no two, it's one. Nope, we're getting close to the hour mark. I've been pretty good at keeping these to just an hour instead of 2, 3, 4 hours like some of mine. But yes, once more, guys, hearts and prayers go out to those in the UK. Tragic event that just happened a few hours ago. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Please like, share. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And feel free to leave comments. I will answer them. If you wish to take part in some of these broadcasts, you can find me at any of the links below. Hope you guys have a good night. Monday we'll not be doing part 4. Monday is Memorial Day. Live broadcast on Monday, but it's going to be spending time with you guys. It's called Monday of the Sabbath for all of us. Today to enjoy each other's company, be merry, be happy, and remember those that have served our countries and lost their lives. That's not our service members, that's our police, our doctors, EMTs, firefighters, everyone. That's what Memorial Day is about, remembering those. And it's also remembering those who have fought for our freedoms, to be able to practice and believe what we want. So, like I said, we'll continue. Part 4 will be, I'll get my calendar to pull up. We'll be on the 5th instead of the 29th, so that way we all can be saying probably around the same time. But all my week videos will be, live streams will be done at 9 o'clock. But yeah, like I said, we gotta also have fun. So next Monday, Memorial Day is a Sabbath, where we just enjoy each other's company, talk about whatever, and just have fun. Spend some time with our families and friends and loved ones. So for those I don't get to see or hear from, that are only tuning in for this particular video series, I will see you on the 5th. And I wish you guys a happy Memorial Day. For those that be tuning in the meditation video, that will be Wednesday at 9 o'clock. This Saturday we will be doing open discussion night. That's your guys' night to join in. Talk on the subjects you want to talk about, ask questions. I usually have people join me in the Hangouts for that night. If you would like to join me in the Hangouts, the way to get a hold of me is in the description. Just send me a message and I'll get back with you and we'll set it up. Saturday nights is your guys' night. And I have a few videos that I'll be uploading this week as well that I'm working on that I think you guys might enjoy, and I'm going to keep those as a surprise. So, suggest you subscribe so you know when I do.